Hello everyone. In this video, we are going to talk about projectile motion. We will talk about the equation of path of a projectile, time of maximum height, then maximum height of a projectile, then time of flight, horizontal range of the projectile, etc. Projectile motion, it is a form of motion experienced by an object that is projected near the earth's surface and moves along a curved path under the action of gravity only. The object that is in flight after being thrown or projected is called a projectile. This projectile might be a football, a cricket ball, or any other object. Projectile motion can be thought as a result of two separate simultaneously occurring components of motion. One component is along the x direction, that is along the horizontal direction without any acceleration, and the other component is along the y direction, that is vertical direction with constant acceleration, which is equal to acceleration due to gravity. Don't worry about hearing all these things. We will discuss about this in detail. The horizontal and the vertical components of this projectile motion are independent. You can see that this projectile motion here we have considered the motion of a cricket ball. You consider this as a cricket ball. So this cricket ball, it actually moves along a curved path, and it is an example for the projectile motion. So this is moving along a curved path in this xy plane now. So we can consider there, we know that there will be one horizontal component of this motion, one vertical component of this motion. They are actually independent. Suppose that the projectile or a cricket ball is launched with an initial velocity vector v0. We know that if you want to find out the direction of instantaneous velocity at any particular point of its motion, at any particular time, we just want to draw a tangent at that particular point, at that particular position of that object at that particular instant, and we will get the direction of that we will get the direction of its velocity at that particular moment. Okay, so suppose this projectile or this cricket ball is launched with an initial velocity vector v0, and it makes, this initial velocity vector, it makes an angle theta 0, an angle theta 0 with the x-axis. This projectile, it is launched with an initial velocity vector v0 and it makes an angle theta 0 with the x-axis. Okay. Now, once the object has been projected, the acceleration on this object is actually due to gravity, that is acceleration of the projectile. That projectile can be the cricket ball, football, or any other object which is in projectile motion. Okay, so the acceleration of that object or that projectile will be equal to the acceleration due to gravity. So acceleration, its acceleration will be equal to the acceleration due to gravity, and acceleration due to gravity is directed vertically downward. Okay, so we can write the acceleration of the projectile as vector A equal to minus g into j cap. Why it is written as minus g into j cap? G is acceleration due to gravity, because we said once the projectile has been projected, its acceleration will be equal to the acceleration due to gravity. Okay, acceleration due to gravity is acting in the vertically downward direction. Alright, so it is acting in the vertically downward direction. So if we take vector A as the acceleration of this projectile, of this cricket ball, then we can write that vector A as minus g into j cap, where g is acceleration due to gravity and this minus j cap indicates that this acceleration of that object is along the negative y direction, because j cap is the unit vector along the y-axis, minus j cap means along the minus y-axis. So j cap is the unit vector along the y-axis, so minus j cap is the unit vector that shows the negative y direction. Negative y direction means what? The downward direction. Okay, now what about the x and y components of acceleration? This acceleration is a vector quantity and we are considering the motion in this xy plane, so it will have one x component as well as one y component. So the x component of that acceleration will be equal to what? 0 now. Okay, I'm taking this as equation number 1. Okay, now the x component of acceleration will be equal to 0. Why I have taken the x component of acceleration as 0? You see the acceleration of that object that has only j cap here. Okay, there is no I cap here to gives us a direction along the x direction. Okay, so x cap, this acceleration, it is along the negative j cap direction, that is along the negative y direction, that is vertically downward direction, in this direction. Okay, from here to here, like that, that is in this direction. Alright, so there is no x component of the acceleration, there is no I cap here, so x component of acceleration equal to 0. I am taking it as equation number 2. Then what about y component of acceleration? Y component of acceleration is what? Minus g. So we can write it as minus g, and I am taking it as equation number 3. Okay, now what about the x component and y component of the initial velocity? How can we find out the x and y components of initial velocity? You see, this one is the initial velocity. Okay, which gives, this one is the initial velocity vector that can be resolved into two components now. One x component that is along the x-axis, another one component that is y component along the y-axis. So to get the x component, I'm taking v0x as the x component of this initial velocity, and I'm taking v0y as the y component of this initial velocity. So how can we find out the x and y components of this initial velocity? So I'm taking, you see, here we have, you just want to consider this triangle here. Alright, so here if I'm finding out this cos theta 0 is equal to adjacent side by hypotenuse. Adjacent side means the x component of initial velocity, that is v0x, divided by hypotenuse means vector v0, its magnitude is v0. Okay, so we can write the x component of velocity, initial velocity v0x as v0 into cos theta 0. Alright, I am taking this as equation number 4. Okay, now if I am finding out sin theta 0 here, then sin theta 0 is equal to opposite side. Opposite side means this one is actually parallel to this one. That is the y component of initial velocity. That has a magnitude v0y. So v0y divided by hypotenuse. Hypotenuse has a magnitude v0. Okay, from that we can write the y component of initial velocity v0y as v0 into sin theta 0, and I am taking this as equation number 5. Okay, so here we can write the x component of initial velocity as v0 cos theta 0, and we can write the y component of initial velocity as v0 sin theta 0. Okay, so v0x is the x component of the initial velocity and v0y is the y component of the initial velocity. Here the frame of reference is this xy plane. So let the initial position of the projectile is at the origin. That is, initially the projectile is here at the origin of this reference frame. Okay, so what about the initial position of the projectile? Its x value and y values are 0 now at the origin, because initially the projectile is at the origin. Okay, so its initial components, its initial position of this projectile, initial position or its position coordinates can be written as x0, y0. Okay, initial position of that projectile, that is x0, y0 will be equal to what? 0, 0, because it is initially at the origin. Okay, so the initial position of the projectile, its x value, that is x0 will be equal to 0, and its y value, that is y0 will be equal to 0, because initially it is at the origin of this frame of reference. Okay. Now, in the previous video, we have discussed about the vector form of the equations of motion. I will provide the link in the description box. You can watch that. And we got one such equation when we have discussed about the vector forms of equations of motion. We got one such equation, vector r equal to vector r0 plus vector v0 into t plus half into vector a into t square. Okay, I hope you remember this equation. Otherwise, you please go and watch that video. I will provide the link in the description box. Okay, so here vector r is actually the position vector. So there will be one x component as well as y component. No, so we can write the x component, that is x as what? x0 plus v0x, x component of this velocity into time t. Okay, plus half into x component of acceleration into t square. Okay, similarly we can write the y coordinate, that is y as y0 plus y component of the velocity, initial velocity into t plus half into y component of acceleration into t square. Okay, now we have x0 equal to 0 and y0 equal to 0 now. So when we substitute this x0 equal to 0 and y0 equal to 0, we will get the expressions like x equal to x0 is 0. So v0 x into t plus half into ax into t square. Alright, I am taking this as equation number 6. Now from this expression y equal to y0 is 0. So v0 y into t plus half into ay into t square. I am taking this as equation number 7. Okay, now we are going to substitute equation number 2 and equation number 4 in equation number 6. What was that equation number 2? Ax equal to 0 and equation number 4 was v0 x equal to v0 cos theta 0. So when we substitute these two equations, that is equation number 2 and equation number 4 in equation number 6, this equation we can write as what? X equal to, okay, x equal to equation number 6 becomes x equal to, then v0 x into t. What is that v0 x? v0 cos theta 0 into t. Okay, plus half ax into t square. What is the x component of velocity? X component of velocity is 0. So half into 0 into t square. So x is equal to v0 cos theta 0 into t. Okay, then half into 0 into t square, this term becomes 0. So we will get the x as, that is the position of that projectile, x component of the projectile or x coordinate of that projectile at any instant of time t. Okay, that is actually equal to x equal to v0 cos theta 0 into t, and I am taking this as equation number 8. Okay, now I am going to substitute equation number 3 and equation number 5 in equation number 7. What was that equation number 3? y component of acceleration is equal to minus g, and equation number 5 was v0 y component of the initial velocity, that is v0 sin theta 0. So when we substitute these two equations in equation number 7, that is this equation. So this equation number 7 becomes y equal to v0 y, that is v0 sin theta 0 into t plus half into ay. What is that ay? Ay is minus g into t square. Okay, so this becomes what? This becomes y equal to v0 sin theta 0 into t, then plus into minus minus half gt square. Okay, I am taking this as equation number 9. So these two equations, equation number 8 and equation number 9 actually gives, they give us the x coordinate and y coordinate of the position of the object of the projectile at any time t after the projectile has been projected. Okay, and we get actually these two gives us, these two give us the x and y coordinate of the position of the object at any time t in terms of initial speed v0 and the projection angle theta 0. Okay, the projection angle theta 0. Theta 0 is also called as projection angle. So in terms of this initial speed v0 and projection angle theta 0 after the projectile has been projected. Now, when we have discussed about the vector forms of equations of motion, I will provide the link in the description box. I already told you. Okay, you can watch from that. And we got one such equation, that is vector v equal to vector v0 plus vector a into t. Okay, I am taking this as equation number 10. Now, from this, the x component of velocity can be written as vx is equal to v0x, that is x component of the initial velocity. Okay, vector v equal to vector v0 plus vector a into t. Here vector v is the velocity at any instant of time. Vector v0 is the initial velocity vector. Vector a is the acceleration vector. Okay, t is the time. So the x component of velocity can be written as x component of the initial velocity plus x component of acceleration into t. Right, I am taking this as equation number 11. Now what about the y component of velocity? Y component of velocity can be written as y component of the y component of the initial velocity plus y component of the acceleration into t, and I am taking this as equation number 12. Now I am going to apply this equation number 2 and 4 which we have already discussed. Okay, equation number 2 and equation number 4 in equation number 11. So when we substitute these two equations, equation number 2 and equation number 4 in equation number 11, what will be getting? We will get this equation number 11, that is actually the expression for the x component of velocity. We will get it as Vx is equal to, what is V0x? V0x is equal to V0 cos theta 0 plus Ax. What is Ax? 0. So 0 into t becomes 0. So we can write this as, that is x component of velocity as V0 cos theta 0. Okay, so we got the x component of velocity, x component of the instantaneous velocity, that is initial velocity into cos theta 0. So I'm taking this as equation number 13. Okay, next I'm going to apply this equation number 3 and equation number 5 which we have already discussed, equation number 3 and equation number 5 in equation number 12. So what is our equation number 12? The y component of velocity, that is Vy, which is equal to V0y. V0y is what? V0 sin theta 0 plus Ay. Ay is what? Minus g into t. So Vy is equal to V0 sin theta 0 plus minus becomes minus into g into t. So we got the expression for the y component of velocity, and I am taking this as equation number 14. Okay, see equation number 13, there is no t, there is no this t time here. Okay, that is the x component of velocity doesn't depend on time. That is the x component of velocity remains constant throughout the motion of the projectile. Only the y component changes, because you can see that y component of velocity has dependence on time. Okay, so it varies with the time, but x component of velocity doesn't depend on time. So the x component of velocity remains constant throughout the motion of the projectile. Now you see this figure which gives us the projectile motion. So you see here at this instant of time, this is the direction of velocity. So this is the direction of initial velocity. So it's x component and y component. The x component of the initial velocity and y component of the initial velocity are shown here. Now see when the object reaches somewhere here, because if you consider the projectile as a cricket ball, the cricket ball moves along this curved path. Okay, so when the object, when that cricket ball reaches here at this particular point, I have taken this as the direction of the velocity of that ball or that projectile. So that will also have one x component and y component. That x component will be what? V0 x into I cap, because we already said x component of velocity remains constant throughout the motion. So there won't be any change in the x component of velocity. So the x component of velocity Vx will be equal to what? V0 x, which is equal to V0 cos theta 0. We got Vx as V0 cos theta 0. Now what is this V0 cos theta 0? V0 x. So the x component of velocity remains constant, but y component of velocity depends on time, so there will be some change. Okay, so at this particular point, this is the this will give us the y component of velocity. Now note that at the point of maximum height, because the projectile moves like this, it reaches the maximum. It reaches the maximum height, then it falls downward, or it moves downward. Okay, so at the maximum height, see this point represents the maximum height of that projectile. So when we draw a tangent along, at this particular point, we will get the direction of its velocity. So this tangent is actually parallel to the x-axis now. Okay, so this velocity vector will be equal to what? The x component of velocity, that is V0 x into I cap. There is no, it doesn't have any y component here. It doesn't have any y component here, because you can see that this velocity vector, it is along the x-axis. Okay, so we don't want to resolve this vector into two components x and y. It is already along the x-axis, which is equal to V0 x into I cap. So its y component is equal to 0. And you can see that here we have taken this projection angle as the angle between theta 0 as the angle between the initial velocity vector and the x-axis. So here this velocity vector, it is along the x-axis, so it is parallel to the x-axis. It doesn't make any angle with the x-axis. So what about the theta? Theta is the angle between the velocity vector and the x-axis. So here theta equal to 0 because this velocity vector is along the x-axis. So we can write v at the maximum height Vy equal to 0 and theta equal to 0. Now when the projectile reaches here, its velocity vector will be along this direction. That is, we just want to draw a tangent at this particular point. So we will, and it is moving in this direction. So its velocity vector will be along this direction. That will also have one x component, which is actually a constant throughout the motion of the projectile. So that will be equal to v0 x into I cap. Then there will be a y component vy. Okay, into j cap will be there. And here also you can see that when the projectile reaches here, the velocity vector, then x component and y component. Here the angle is actually taken as minus theta 0 because we measure the angle from the x-axis, no? So in the here in the anti-clockwise direction. So when we measure this angle from the x-axis, so the angle made by this velocity vector with the x-axis is measured from the x-axis, so in the clockwise direction, that is in the opposite direction. That is why it is written as minus. Okay, now you see, here we have, you just consider this velocity vector at this particular position of that projectile. So here, this is the velocity vector and this is, this line is actually along the x-axis. So the angle between these two will be equal to, that will be the angle made by this velocity vector with the x-axis because this line is actually parallel to the x-axis. So this angle will be the angle made by this velocity vector with the x-axis. So I am taking that angle as theta. Okay, so here what about tan theta? If we are finding out tan theta here, we can write tan theta as what? Okay, I am writing it here. Tan theta is equal to opposite side divided by hypotenuse. Now what is that opposite side? Opposite side will be what? Vy into j cap. Its magnitude will be Vy, no? So opposite side is actually this one. That is, its magnitude is, it is parallel to this Vy into j cap. Its magnitude is Vy. So tan theta is equal to Vy. Okay, divided by hypotenuse. Hypotenuse means, so not hypotenuse. It is actually the x component of velocity, right? That is tan theta is equal to opposite side divided by adjacent side, not hypotenuse. Okay, I'm sorry. Tan theta is equal to opposite side divided by adjacent side. Adjacent side is what? Its magnitude is x component of velocity, that is Vx. So we can write tan theta is equal to Vy by Vx. So what about theta? The angle made by that velocity vector with the x-axis, theta is equal to tan inverse of Vy divided by Vx. Okay, now at the point of this maximum height of the projectile, okay, at the at the maximum height of the projectile, this is the point the projectile can reach maximum. Then after that it moves in the downward direction. So this is the maximum height of that projectile. Okay, this is the position of that projectile corresponding to its maximum height. So at the maximum height, we actually get what? Theta equal to 0. Okay, theta equal to 0 means what? Tan inverse of Vy divided by Vx will be equal to 0. Okay. Now, we are going to discuss about equation of path of a projectile. What is the shape of the path followed by the projectile? To obtain the equation of path and shape of the path followed by the projectile, let us consider the equation number 9 and equation number 8, which we have already discussed. Equation number 9 was this: y equal to v0 sin theta 0 into t minus half gt square, and x equal to v0 cos theta 0 into t, where v0 is the initial velocity, theta 0 projection angle, g acceleration due to gravity, t time, then x and y are the position coordinates of that projectile. Okay, now you see from this expression, from this equation number 8, we can write one expression for the time. No, we can write the expression for the time as what? T equal to x divided by v0 cos theta 0. Right, we can write t equal to x divided by v0 cos theta 0, and I am taking this as 8.1, equation 8.1. Now I am going to apply this equation 8.1 in equation 9. So we have the equation 9 as y equal to v0 sine theta 0 into t minus half gt square. Then when we apply this, when we substitute this equation number 8.1 in equation number 9, so this becomes what? Y equal to, then v0 sine theta 0 into t is what? T is x divided by v0 cos theta 0. Okay, then minus half gt square. So half g, what is t? T is equal to x divided by v0 cos theta 0. So t square means x square divided by v0 square cos square theta 0. Okay, so this can be written as what you see here. We have v0 in the numerator and one v0 in the denominator. They cancel each other. So this actually becomes sin y equal to sin theta 0 divided by cos theta 0 becomes tan theta 0. So tan theta 0 into x is here equal to, okay, g, not equal to, sorry, minus g into g divided by 2 into v0 square cos square theta 0 can be written as v0 cos theta 0 the whole square into x square. Okay, I'm taking this as equation A. Okay, so when we substituted this equation number 8.1 in 9, we got this expression y equal to tan theta 0 into x minus g divided by 2 into v0 cos theta 0 the whole square into x square. We have taken that as equation number A. Here, theta 0 projection angle, v0 the initial velocity and g acceleration due to gravity are constants. So this equation is in the form a constant into x, then again plus or minus a constant into x square. So this equation is actually in the form y equal to ax divided by bx square, where a and b are constants. So this is actually the equation of a parabola, and this equation is quite similar to this equation. Okay, so we can say that the path of a project, this is the equation of path of the projectile, and it is similar to this equation of the parabola. So we can say that the path of projectile is a parabola. The path of a projectile is a parabola. Next, we are going to derive one expression for the time of maximum height, which is represented by t suffix m. The time taken by the projectile, okay, the time taken by the projectile to reach the maximum height is the time of maximum height. Okay, the time taken by the projectile to reach its maximum height, that is actually called as time of maximum height, and it is denoted by t suffix m. Okay, we know that at the highest point Vy equal to 0. At the highest point Vy equal to 0. Now consider this equation number 14, which we have already discussed. The y component of velocity, which is equal to V0 sin theta 0 minus gt. So from this expression we can write Vy equal to 0 now at the maximum, because we are deriving one expression for the time of maximum height. So at the maximum height Vy equal to 0. So when we substitute this here to this into this equation number 14, we will get Vy equal to 0. So 0 equal to V0 sin theta 0 minus g into t. Okay, so if I am taking this minus gt to the other side of the equation, that becomes plus gt. So we can write V0 sin theta 0 equal to g into t. Alright, what is this t actually? At the maximum height, the velocity of the y component of the velocity equal to 0. So this t is actually the time of maximum height Tm. Okay, so from this expression we can write Tm is equal to V0 sin theta 0. I am taking this g to this side, that goes to the denominator. So divided by g. So this I am taking this as expression or equation B, and this is actually the equation to calculate the time of maximum height, that is the time taken by the projectile to reach its maximum height. Next we are going to discuss about time of flight. Time of flight is the total time during which the projectile is in flight. That is the time taken by the projectile to reach here. Okay, it is projected from here, and the time taken by the projectile to reach here, that is the time of flight. Okay, time of flight is the total time during which the projectile is in motion, is in a flight. That is the time taken by the projectile to reach at this point, that is reach on the x-axis. Okay, that is the time of flight, and time of flight is usually represented by t suffix f. Okay, now to get the expression for this time of flight, you see, when the projectile is here at this particular point, y equal to 0 now, because this point is on the x-axis, right? So y equal to 0, because time of flight is the time taken by the projectile to reach here. Okay, reach here at this particular point. At this particular point, that point is on the x-axis. So y coordinate equal to 0. So y equal to 0. Okay, now we just want to consider the equation number 9, which we have already discussed. Y equal to V0 sin theta 0 into t minus half gt square. So when we substitute this y as 0 by putting y equal to 0, we can write this expression as 0 equal to what? 0 equal to V0 sin theta 0 into t. That time is actually what here it is. When y equal to 0, the corresponding time is time of flight tf. So tf minus half g tf square. Okay, now if I am taking this minus half g tf square to the other side of the equation, that becomes plus. Okay, so we can write V0 sin theta 0 into tf is equal to half g tf square. Now you see, if I am taking this tf, this one tf to this side, that goes to the denominator, and one tf from the numerator and denominator can be cancelled. So this tf and one of these two tfs can be cancelled. This tf square means tf into tf. No, so one tf from here and one tf from here can be cancelled. So we get, you see, if I am taking this 2 to this side, when I am taking 2 to this side, that becomes 2 into V0 sin theta 0 equal to g into tf. Okay, then from this we can write tf is equal to 2 into V0 sin theta 0 divided by g, and I am taking this as expression C, and this is actually the expression to find out the time of flight. Okay, now from the equation B, I hope you remember that equation B, that was the time for a maximum height, time of maximum height, that is Tm is equal to V0 sin theta 0 divided by G. This was equation B. So from this equation B, we have Tm is equal to V0 sin theta 0 divided by G. So here this V0 sin theta 0 divided by G can be replaced with what? Tm. So we will get the total time of flight. I mean the time of flight Tf is equal to 2 into this V0 sin theta 0 divided by G is Tm. Okay, and I am taking this as equation number D. I mean equation D or expression D. So this is expected now because of the symmetry of the projectile motion. Okay, because of the symmetry of the projectile motion, the total time of flight is equal to 2 times the time of maximum height. Time of maximum height means the time taken by the projectile to reach here. Okay, then total time of flight means the time taken by the projectile to reach here and to reach here. Okay, this total time. So that is from the symmetry it is expected that Tf is equal to 2 times Tm. Alright. Now next we are going to talk about maximum height of a projectile, which is represented by h suffix m. Let the maximum height reached by the projectile, that is the maximum height reached by the projectile, be hm. Okay, this much height. Okay, the maximum height reached by this projectile is moving along this curved path, and this one is this is the maximum height of that projectile, and after that the projectile moves downward. Okay, so this is the maximum height of the projectile, that is the maximum height reached by the projectile. It is represented by h suffix m. So it is actually the height reached by the projectile by taking a time Tm, because Tm is the time taken by the projectile to reach its maximum height. So we can say that maximum height of the projectile is the height reached by the projectile by taking a time Tm, where Tm is the time taken by the projectile to reach its maximum height. Now consider this equation number 9, which we have already discussed, y equal to V0 sin theta 0 into t minus half gt square. Okay, so let this y, that is a position coordinate now of this projectile at this particular point. So let this y equal to hm, which is the maximum height of the projectile. Then what about t? T will be equal to Tm now. That is at the maximum height, the time taken by the projectile to reach its maximum height is Tm. So we can replace this T by Tm. Okay, so this expression number 9 becomes what? This equation number 9 becomes y can be taken as hm, which is equal to v0 sine theta 0 into time is time for the maximum height tm minus half g t square. T square means tm square. Okay, now from expression B, that is equation B, we have the time for maximum height is Tm is equal to V0 sine theta 0 divided by G. This was equation B. So from this equation B, we can substitute this Tm as this. Okay, so we get Hm is equal to V0 sine theta 0 into Tm is what? V0 sine theta 0 divided by G, then minus half G Tm square. What is the Tm? V0 sine theta 0 divided by G the whole square. Okay, now this Hm can be written as, you see here we have V0 into V0, so V0 square, sin theta 0 into sin theta 0, sin theta 0 square. So together we can write V0 sin theta 0 the whole square divided by G minus, okay, then here we have G and here we have in the denominator G the whole square. That is, the denominator is actually G square. Okay, this is actually V0 sin theta 0 divided by G the whole square. No, so this can be written as V0 sin theta 0 the whole square divided by G square. So one G from the numerator and one G from the denominator can be cancelled. Alright, so the numerator will be V0 sin theta 0 the whole square. So V0 sin theta 0 the whole square divided by 2 into G is there. So 2 into G. Okay, now you see V0 sin theta 0 the whole square divided by G minus V0 sin theta 0 whole square divided by 2G. That is, you can just take V0 sin theta 0 all square divided by G as common. So when you take V0 sin theta 0 the whole square divided by G as common, this becomes what? 1 minus 1 by 2. 1 minus 1 by 2. That is, when you are subtracting half from 1, what will you get? You will be getting half. No. So your answer will be what? Hm is equal to half of this. That is V0 sin theta 0 the whole square divided by 2G. And this is equation E. So this is actually the equation to calculate the maximum height of the projectile. Next, we are going to discuss about the horizontal range of a projectile. The horizontal distance traveled by the projectile from its initial position, that is the origin of this frame of reference, to the position where it passes y equal to 0 during its fall is called the horizontal range. That is, horizontal range is the distance traveled by the projectile during the time of flight Tf. Because this distance, now this horizontal distance from the initial position of the projectile to the to this position where it passes y equal to 0 during its fall, that is actually called as the horizontal distance. I mean that horizontal distance is actually called as the horizontal range. That is, horizontal range is actually the distance traveled by the projectile during the time of flight, because time of flight is the total time during which the projectile is in flight, or the time taken by the projectile to reach here, that is time of flight. So we can say that horizontal range is the distance traveled by the projectile during this time of flight. Okay, because we know that total time during which the projectile is in flight is the time of flight. Alright, now we have this expression now, that is distance traveled is equal to velocity into time, or speed into time. Okay, speed is actually the magnitude of velocity, so distance traveled is equal to that speed or velocity into time. Okay, so here the distance traveled is what? The range R. So R, horizontal distance. Now we are talking about the horizontal distance, so that is actually the range. So it is represented by R. So distance traveled is R. Now what about the velocity? What about the velocity? Velocity is actually what? V0. That is, velocity is along the horizontal direction. We are talking about the horizontal distance, no? So the velocity is actually the x component of velocity, which is equal to v0x. v0x is what? v0 cos theta 0. So here we can write v0 cos theta 0 into time is actually what? The time of flight, tf. What's the expression for the time of flight? I hope you remember that expression. 2v0 sin theta 0 divided by g. Okay, so this can be written as r equal to v0 into v0 square. Okay, then 2 into sin theta 0 into cos theta 0 divided by g. Okay, all divided by g. Now what is this 2 sin theta 0 cos theta 0? What is sin 2 theta? Sin 2 theta equal to 2 sin theta cos theta. So sin 2 theta 0 will be equal to what? 2 sin theta 0 cos theta 0. So this can be written as range r equal to v0 square. Then this 2 sin theta 0 cos theta 0 can be written as sin 2 theta 0 divided by g. So this is actually the expression. I'm taking this as expression f, and this is actually the expression for that horizontal distance, that is the range. Now, it is very clear from this equation that the range is maximum when sin 2 theta 0 is maximum. Okay, because range is equal to v0 square sin 2 theta 0 divided by g, no? Sin 2 theta 0, it has a maximum value 1 and it has a value minus 1. It can be 0. So, this range will be, the range actually depends on the sin 2 theta 0. So, range will be maximum when sin 2 theta 0 is maximum. Okay, so when sin 2 theta 0 is maximum means sin 2 theta 0 equal to 1. The maximum value of sine function is 1. So when sin 2 theta 0 equal to 1, what about 2 theta 0? Sin 90 is equal to 1. Okay, so 2 theta 0 is equal to 90. So theta 0 equal to 90 by 2, which is equal to 45 degree. That is the projection angle. The projection angle means that initial projection angle is equal to 45 degree. That means a projectile travels the farthest, that's the horizontal distance, okay, when it is launched at an angle of 45 degrees. So for the javelin throw sports item, no? So for the javelin which is thrown at a particular speed, the longest throw is achieved if the javelin is thrown at an angle 45 degree with the horizontal. Okay, so here the maximum range can be written as, okay, I'm writing the maximum range as Rm. That can be written as V0 square divided by G, because maximum range is achieved when sin 2 theta 0 equal to 1. So we get the maximum, the expression for the maximum range as V0 square divided by G, and I'm taking this as equation capital letter G. It was a quite lengthy video, I think. Okay, anyway, we have completed the full topics, subtopics coming under this projectile motion. So in this video, we have discussed about projectile motion. Then we have discussed about the equation of path of a projectile, time of maximum height, time of flight, then maximum height of a projectile, then horizontal range of a projectile. I hope you understood all these derivations and concept. Thank you.